Welcome to NCIX Tech Tips. We've got another NCIXPC for you. This case is quite dear to my heart, and I will show you guys why, but it is going to be the housing of the NCIXPC 501IA. I didn't think I was going to do that, but then I did. The tagline for this system is raising the performance to volume bar again. Okay, no, different kind of volume. Performance to volume in terms of the interior volume of the canister that is housing the extremely high performance components inside. This is a $14.99 system. We're going to show you what makes it special. Now, you might be wondering, what happened to his shirt? But you'll have to wait till the end of the video to find out, or if you're a cheater, then you could skip there now and find out and come back, but shame on you. So let's have a look at this here TJ08 case. We've got two 5 1/4 inch bays, neither of which are occupied because you're probably getting most of your games on Steam, Origin, or Uplay at this point. We've got two USB 3.0 ports as well as headphone and microphone jacks, a drive activity LED, a power LED, a reset switch, and a power switch. You've also got a large front ventilation hole, which it will be explained later why this particular case needs that, but here's a hint. It's to do with ventilation. There's also a 3.5 inch bay down at the very bottom, giving you an option to add something like a card reader or whatever else, should you so desire. On this side of the case, we find a whole lot of nothing. On this side of the case, we find a whole lot of nothing and a fan controller. There you go. Turn that fan down, turn that fan up. You have both options. Then on the top of the case, a fan filter. And you can take that fan filter off and put that fan filter on. You have both options. This is a magnetic fan filter. Very cool. I love these. Silverstone actually sells them standalone, so you can add them to your own computer should you so desire. Moving around to the back of the system. Oh, that's a weird layout. We have a 180-degree inverted motherboard. So there is a rear 120mm cooling fan. There is an ASUS Tough Series Griffin board inside, so you've got 4 USB 2.0 ports, DVI and HDMI out, optical audio out, 4 USB 3.0 ports, gigabit Ethernet, as well as 7.1 audio, and provided by that GeForce GTX 770 inside, you've got 2 DVI ports, an HDMI port, and a DisplayPort capable of running up to 3 monitors in 3D vision surround, and a 4th additional auxiliary monitor. Finally, you've got your power supply ventilation, and it is time to head inside. This is the moment, the unveiling. Oh, hold on, we're working on this. Yes! The inside of the 501IA. I swear, it sounds like a highway to me. The 501IA, ride the highway to extreme gaming performance in a small form factor. So you can see here, Silverstone honestly doesn't get enough credit for their case design. They really do push the bar with pretty much every new case that they release, or at least every new generation. So there's a couple of things that this case has going for it. Number one is the enormous 180mm air penetrator fan in the front. If you don't fill up those hard drive cages in the front of this case, you are going to get a veritable wind tunnel of air. Remember, what air penetrators do is they create like an air like cylinder that moves away from the fan rather than just dispersing air all over the place on the other side. So that allows you to very effectively move the fresh air over the graphics card here, get fresh air there, and move fresh air towards the CPU socket area right here. So whether you have a liquid-cooled or an air-cooled CPU, you are going to benefit from that. They've also got an isolated little chamber here for the power supply, so that 600 watts Strider Essentials power supply is not going to have any difficulty getting the cooling it needs from the top here and not contaminating the rest of your system with any unnecessary heat. That EVGA GeForce GTX 770 in there, remember, GeForce Experience means you don't have to think about game settings anymore. It'll figure it out for you. Looks stunning with a black and gold finish that goes extremely well with the ASUS Griffin board. So this is kind of like a Sabertooth on like the opposite of steroids. Not to say that it's less powerful than a Sabertooth, but it is certainly smaller. So it is an MATX Tough Series board, and that's the first time that we've actually encountered this. For the CPU, it's got a 4670K Haswell CPU cooled by a Corsair H60, and it uses Corsair Vengeance Pro memory. This is Corsair's new overclocking-friendly memory. Remember, guys, Haswell CPUs are often able to run at memory speeds up to 2.4 gigahertz or beyond when the CPU itself is running at stock speed. Rounding out the options that are included with this system is a 128 gig Plextor M5 Pro. This is one of the fastest SSDs on the market today, running right up there with the top dogs, particularly in terms of random IOPS performance. So in short, you get liquid cooling, you get a 770, you get a very, very tiny enclosure, and you get a wicked ton of performance. And you also get a couple of things I missed before. Number one is you get a video card supporter here that actually works together with zip ties to make sure that this video card is not going anywhere. Gone are the days, well, if you get this case specifically, of video cards being supported only by the screws at the back, so in shipping or moving around or whatever else the case may be, that never gets old. Your video card is not going to go anywhere. And support for large heat sinks as well. So this particular configuration doesn't have a heatsink in it, but down here there's a little support bracket. You can put a screw in it to hold it in place, and you don't have to worry about any undue stress on the CPU socket caused by large heat pipe coolers. So in summary, guys, what do you get with the 501IA? You get a power-efficient system in an extremely small form factor that looks attractive, performs phenomenally well due to the Haswell 4th generation Intel CPU, as well as the GeForce GTX 770 superclock from EVGA. Remember, guys, GeForce experience means that you will never have to worry about updating your driver or figuring out the most optimal game settings. If you want, GeForce experience can take care of that stuff for you. You also get a high-performance SSD, and you get a whole bunch of cool free swag to go with it. You get a copy of Metro Last Light, you get a copy of Borderlands 2, you get $75 worth of in-game currency for Hawken, PlanetSide 2, as well as World of Tanks, and last but not least, you get, here we go, speed unboxing while talking about other things. Yes! This Grid 2 t-shirt and a chance to win the ultimate Intel trip to PAX Prime. Don't worry, this t-shirt won't stay wrinkly like this forever. Don't forget to subscribe to NCIX Tech Tips for more videos like this from NCIX.com. I hope you enjoyed this system edition.